Hey everybody, thanks for joining our live stream. Sarah French here from the WCNC Charlotte studios, joined by our defender, Nate Morabito. Nate, you have been working on this story for a while now. It's going to air tonight at 11. I really hope people tune in and watch because it's so important. So just tell people watching what you've been working on.
Yeah, since really, I guess about April, we've been trying to give as much oversight as possible to the unemployment situation in both North and South Carolina, right? North Carolina has been particularly slow in getting people their money, and really it has continued. There have been some advancements, but almost every day we're hearing from people who need help getting their unemployment, and this is critical money, right? Like you really shouldn't have to wait an extended period of time to collect your unemployment. And really, in North Carolina, you should be able to receive your money within 14 days. If there's no problems, 14 days, 2 weeks, right? So I want to pull up some data points here that we've been looking at because the truth is, for many months, most people weren't getting their money in 14 days. It was taking much longer. And what we found ultimately is that some people waited up to 70 days to collect their money.
Wow.
And if we can show it, but basically the point I'm trying to get at is during like these summer months of 2020, this is North Carolina's timeliness. So they consider it. I want you to look at the 14 days. See there in the column, it says
Mhm.
14 days. And you can see there right in the middle, I mean, it's like 50% of all claims are getting paid out within the 14-day benchmark, right? That's kind of the goal. And it really started to sag kind of the middle of the summer last year. And
Mhm.
for a while now, we've just been asking, what's going on? Like, why is this happening? This doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And as we continue to look into it, we realize that North Carolina, even before the pandemic, really struggled getting out people's benefits. So now we have the full almost 2020 year to look at to see, like, what has it gotten any better? And we created this awesome interactive map, and you're gonna be able to find it with our story online tonight. But this is basically every state, 14 to 21 days. How quickly are people getting their money? And you see North Carolina there. 61.5% of all claims were paid out in
Wow.
14 to 21 days. Okay, that's 43rd in the country,
Yeah, that's the
right?
number I was looking at.
43rd. Now go down to South Carolina for a second, and you'll see that South Carolina is so much better. 76.3% were hitting
Wonder
that mark.
why is that?
Well, and that's what's interesting. North Carolina, DES, Division of Employment Security, recently had to appear before state lawmakers in an oversight committee meeting. And he said basically that the new assistant secretary, remember they changed heads of the agency kind of right after the pandemic started, basically said, well, we don't really compare ourselves to other states, right? Including South Carolina. We're bigger than South Carolina, and they have a different kind of staff and different kind of population. But let's go up to a couple other states too. Let's go up to Minnesota for a second, which has the very best in the country.
Wow.
14 to 21 days, 91% of all claims were paid during a pandemic,
So what are
right?
they doing differently? What are they doing that we're not?
Sarah, I've been asking Minnesota this question for more than a month. Like I've been reaching out to their public relations people up in the state of Minnesota. What are you doing? Like, how is this working better there? And I did the same in Louisiana, actually. If you guys want to go down to Louisiana for a second, Louisiana is second, also. And it's really interesting. These states clearly don't want to pick on each other, and they don't want to come off as criticizing the other ones, right? But the truth is that every state had the same challenge. Like every state had an overwhelming number of people file for unemployment. Their systems were overwhelmed, yet almost every other state found a way to get the money out quicker. And it ultimately led us to wonder, like, why does it take journalists or lawmakers to push DES to get people their money? Like, we're happy to do it. Don't get me wrong. This is our community service. Like, that's what our job is in part. But lawmakers have been dealing with thousands upon thousands of these people too, trying to help them. And it just left us wondering, like, why is the system like this? And I had emailed the Division of Employment Security multiple times asking for an interview on this topic. Well, why is it taking us a phone call, an email? In recent weeks we helped people collect $31,000,
That
right, in
is such a
unemployment.
huge number. When I saw that, I was looking over your story tonight before this live stream. I could not believe that. That is such a large chunk of money that belonged to people here in the Carolinas. Why didn't
And
they
you
have
know,
it?
that's the thing too. Like the number's so high because they waited so long. Like it's all their back pay. They waited months to collect it. So it adds up as they're kind of sitting there waiting. And in the end, it just made us wonder, why are we the ones that have to push this through? Why can't these people get the access and the help they need without having to make an extra call to us? And let's remember that too, these people are spending sometimes hours on the phone or on the internet trying to deal with this when their lives are turned upside down, when they're probably out there trying to look for a job, really, which should be their number one priority. They should just be getting this money to come in. And so we really wanted to know what's the deal here? Why is North Carolina still struggling? North Carolina has the same challenges as basically every other state, at least on paper. That's what you would think. And it came to the point where we just realized we had to ask the governor this question. Governor Roy Cooper, DES will not answer our question on camera, and really specifically this question, just wouldn't answer it. They would tell us, well, most people get their claims resolved by calling a representative from DES. And the truth is, we hear from people who tried that and it didn't work for them. That's why they're reaching out to us. And that's why they're reaching out to lawmakers. And that's why they're reaching out to fellow journalists in Charlotte and in Raleigh. Our competitors, we're all doing it. It's not just us, right? We're all trying to help these people, and rightfully so. And we asked Governor Roy Cooper, basically after a couple different press conferences, try to get called on, finally got called on, did not get a follow-up when I asked my question. But he basically said that shouldn't happen. And he's right, it shouldn't have to happen. We shouldn't have to be the ones to do this. And I think what you're going to find interesting at 11 tonight is something that really kind of shocked me. There was a recent oversight meeting that I referenced where the head of DES kind of spoke to lawmakers, and he basically blamed all of the delays on one thing. And I was kind of almost dumbfounded when I heard it, because in the end, DES took very little blame. Kind of shifted responsibility.
That is what you're going to reveal to us tonight at 11, what they blame the delays on. And I do want people watching to know that we can see your comments if you have any questions for Nate. Desmond Williams saying he's been waiting 8 weeks, Nate.
And I'll tell you, Desmond, what I would do is I would email us, money@wcnc.com. You can also email me directly, and morabito@wcnc.com. South Carolina has been really responsive when we've reached out to them on behalf of people. They've been pretty quick. In most cases, almost 100% success rate in cases that I've dealt with. So email us, give us your claim number, give us your full name, and then we'll reach out on your behalf. And hopefully things will get resolved really quickly. In our story tonight at 11, one of the claims was resolved in South Carolina that originated in North Carolina. So we work with both states. And I think the key is just, we are here to help you. If the state's not going to be able to help you get this, reach out to us so we can give it the extra push. And again, it's money@wcnc.com.
And we'll be hearing from those people tonight in your story?
Yep, you'll hear from two different people who we helped recently. And here's kind of, to me, what stands out. These people are convinced, Sarah, if they had not reached out to us, they would still not have their money.
Yeah. Well, from everything we're seeing and hearing, that doesn't surprise me. But I mean, thankfully, you're so good at your job, Nate, that you were able to get these people their money. But yeah, it's sad that, you have, as you said, journalists and some lawmakers to get the people of the Carolinas the money that they have been waiting so long for.
And let's be honest too. Like, I know the state is overwhelmed. Like, no one is suggesting that they're maliciously trying to delay benefits.
Of course not. Of course not. Right.
We know they're trying, but there's some systemic issue here where if you are this down on the list, ranked among other states, there's a problem. And they don't want to compare themselves to other states, probably in part because they just really struggle with this issue. But there needs to be something that changes, to make this kind of speed along faster. They went from 500 employees to 2,500 employees. They added additional call staff to deal directly with kind of VIP people who've been waiting, who had kind of priority at that point. And we're still in the same situation. I mean, really towards the end of the year, there might have been some gradual improvement. But what did I say? 61.5% of all claims were paid out in 14 to 21 days. People need that money. Like, there are people that I talk to every week that are thankful that these moratoriums on evictions keep getting delayed, but they're terrified that they're going to get kicked out of their apartments because they can't afford, they don't have the money. Their savings are gone, and they don't have a job.
Yeah, and if you're just joining us, I mean, 43rd on the list is what North Carolina is at. Nate, why should people tune in tonight and watch? I'm really looking forward to watching the story. I know you've been working on it for a while now.
Well, I think what you'll see is, number one, lawmakers, when the head of DES appeared before them, said that the people of North Carolina expect an unemployment system that works for them, right? This is your system. This is your tax dollars at work here. And when you need the money, it's not working for you. Now, yes, there are plenty of people that did receive their money quickly, and that's great. But really, in this kind of a situation, I know it's a one-of-a-kind pandemic, but you would expect months not to go by for people not to get their money. Now, there are some complications. Certainly, there are people that have complicated claims. That's a different story. But I think that, for the people that have pretty cut and dry claims, there's got to be some way to streamline this so that people can kind of move along a little bit quicker. They just need this money.
Yeah. Did you see
And
Peter's comment? He said, I helped someone fill in and apply. It's not easy. It takes a lawyer. Why is it so complicated?
exactly. And that's part of it too. It is complicated. And if you've never done this before, especially, you got to file every week. You got to make sure you check the right box about the reason for your unemployment. Like one minor error can really set you back weeks. And then if you have to file an appeal, I mean, there was a time, I don't know where it's at right now, but there was a time when it was like 8 weeks before an appeal would even be heard, right? So you've already been denied unemployment, and then you have to wait additional weeks to have it appealed. And then you had people that were getting overpayment notices that they were overpaid even though they didn't do anything wrong. The state kind of had to resolve that and fix. And what I'll say to this is, Jan has a question about appeals. If you have an appeal pending, I would urge you to email us and give me your claimant ID and let us just reach out to the state. It doesn't hurt to kind of put your name back at the top of their list so that they can look at it and kind of work on it.
So if they have a question, if they have a story, whatever it may be, how can they reach out to you and the defenders?
All right, so you see money at WCNC.com. That goes to all of the defenders team, all the Where's the Money team, money at WCNC.com. If you want to reach out to me directly, that's nmorabito at WCNC.com. And I'll just kind of close with this, Sarah, too. We want to see a solution here. That's why I've been trying to find out from Minnesota and Louisiana why their system seems to be working so much better. And we're continuing to push that issue. And we've actually reached out to our colleagues in Minneapolis at our Tegna station there, hoping they can help us. Because at the end of the day, we know this is difficult, but we would love to see the examples of what's working somewhere else so that North Carolina can apply this. And so that, these people can just get their money, like an extra phone call to me. I mean, why should you have to do that?
Right. Right. Well, I know that our viewers appreciate all your help, Nate. I can't wait to see your story tonight. I know you've been working on it for a while, and I hope all of you tune in tonight at 11 on NBC to watch our newscast as well as Nate's story. Nate, thank you so much for all your hard work. We appreciate it. And it's good to see you virtually. Can't wait till everyone's back in the newsroom again. I
know. I'll just say this, Sarah, we're happy to help all of these people. And actually, my desk is like right behind you. I haven't seen my desk in almost a year,
That's like over here,
which is incredible to think. And, I'm just happy to be able to still have a job and help people who really need the help right now.
Most definitely. Nate, thank you so much. We'll watch you tonight at 11.
All right. See you then.